Every day in the United States, more than 1 million people wake up in prison and eat whatever is on their state-issued tray. They don't choose the food. They don't control the portions. And for many, state trays are the only meals they will receive. These meals are not just unhealthy. They are humiliating, unsafe, insufficient, and the only nourishment they receive. This is not about comfort. It's about survival, health, and dignity. Over an 18-month investigation, researchers examined food in state prisons across the country. They surveyed hundreds of formerly incarcerated people, spoke with correction staff, reviewed prison policies in all 50 states, and listened closely to the people most affected. What they found was a system that treats food not as nourishment, but as punishment. On average, a person sentenced to prison in the U.S. serves about 3 years. That's almost 3,300 meals behind bars. For many people, nearly every one of those meals leaves them hungry. In fact, 94% of formerly incarcerated people surveyed said they did not receive enough food to feel full. Hunger wasn't occasional. It was constant, every day. People described it as a dull ache that never went away. It turned into anger, exhaustion, and despair. But quantity is only part of the problem. 3 out of 4 people reported being served food that was spoiled or rotten, moldy bread, sour milk, rotten meat, and expired canned goods. Some kitchen workers said they were ordered to prepare food labeled not for human consumption. Even when food wasn't spoiled, it was often barely edible. Nearly 9 out of 10 people said prison meals tasted bad, and more than 9 out of 10 said the food looked unappetizing, while only about 1 in 4 said meals were served at the proper temperature. Cold food, lukewarm food, and food left sitting out for hours. And then there's nutrition. Most prison meals are built around cheap, processed carbohydrates, white bread, pasta, rice, cakes, cookies. Protein is limited, and fresh fruits and vegetables are rare. 60% of people said they rarely or never had access to fresh vegetables, and more than half said the same about fresh fruit. When fruit did appear, it was often unripe or already going bad. To meet minimum nutrition requirements on paper, many prisons rely on powdered drink mixes fortified with vitamins. But supplements don't replace real food, and many people said the drinks tasted so bad they avoided them altogether. Independent analyses of prison meals reveal extremely high levels of sodium and sugar. In some states, daily sodium levels averaged over 3,400 milligrams. That is far above federal dietary guidelines. Sugar levels in some systems were more than double what officials claimed they were serving. This kind of diet doesn't just feel bad, it damages your body. Research shows that even 1 month of unhealthy eating can lead to long-term increases in cholesterol and body fat. Statistics show incarcerated people have higher rates of diabetes and heart disease than the general population. Poor nutrition also weakens the immune system. This matters because 95% of incarcerated people will eventually return home. Prison food doesn't just affect people inside, it follows them back into their families and communities. For those who can afford it, commissary food becomes a lifeline. But commissary items are mostly ultra-processed, high in sodium, high in sugar, and expensive. 3 out of 5 people said they couldn't afford commissary food at all, and many were forced to choose between eating and buying basic necessities: soap, toothpaste, or making phone calls to loved ones. More than 70% said they broke prison rules just to get more food. In some cases, food itself is used as discipline. At least 36 states allow alternative meals as punishment. In 18 states, this includes Nutriloaf, a deliberately unappetizing mixture served to people in solitary confinement. Oversight is minimal. Prison kitchens are rarely inspected like commercial facilities. And when inspections do happen, results are often hidden from the public. People reported kitchens with mold, insects, rodents, and no soap or hot water. Despite all this, states spend shockingly little to feed incarcerated people. Prisons across the country spend anywhere from $1.02 to $4.95 per inmate per day on food, and the average is just under $3 a day. Think about that for a second. $1.02 for a full day of food. Food budgets often make up only about 4% of total prison spending, and the message the system sends is clear. The food doesn't have to taste good. It doesn't even have to be nourishing. It just has to be cheap. But food is not a luxury. It's a basic human need. When people are fed poorly, their health deteriorates, tension rises, and medical costs increase. Rehabilitation becomes harder. Re-entry becomes more difficult. Better food won't fix mass incarceration, but bad food makes everything worse. And when millions of people cycle through prisons every year, the consequences don't stay behind bars, they come home.